Lambs have been born thick and fast. Some on their own, and some needing help from these young shepherds. This ewe only had one lamb of her own, so Dan fostered or gave her an orphaned lamb. So that the ewe will think the orphan is her own lamb, Dan rubs it with the afterbirth and fluid which her own lamb was covered in when it was born. The orphaned lamb now smells like the ewe's own lamb, and she accepts it as her own.
Well, we're here in the lambing shed at the water at the moment, and we've got to keep an eye on some sheep just in the corner. If you look over there is a sheep that's having a baby. It's giving birth now, but there's another one which has already had a lamb, and they're going to get all jumbled up, and each one's going to try and take the other's lamb. So I'm going to have to just go in and carefully pick up the one lamb that's just been born and move it into a pen just at the other end of the shed so that they don't get mixed up. The newborn lamb belongs to this sheep, not that one. And she thinks this is her lamb. So we've got to just carefully put one into a pen, put her with her newborn lamb. Can you see her newborn lamb? I'll just do a little feel now. I'm going to put my hand underneath and lift. Oh, she's got another lamb. There's another lamb in there, so she can have another baby to go with that one. But in the meantime, this little monkey lamb is getting in the way. No, she's had her lambs. I don't think she's having any more. So I'm going to try and walk this one to the other end out of the way. Come on, this way. There we go, that's it. What we do, once they've lambed in here, we'll then put them into an individual pen on their own, and they'll stay in that pen for 24 hours per day, and it just makes sure that the bond between the ewe and the lamb is good and strong. And when they've got a nice strong bond, then we'll put them into a small group of 20 ewes and lambs, and we'll go and have a look at those in a moment. And when they're happy that everything's all right, no problems, then they'll all go out into a field together out to grass. But we'll keep walking this one. I'll put you in a little temporary pen up there. She's secure there for a few minutes. We'll just go and just check the other lamb. The other ewe, I should say, that's just had the lamb. Yeah. Well, here we are in some individual pens. Now, you've seen the lamb being born in a yard over there, and the mothers were sort of getting a little bit confused and mixing up which is which. So we bring them in here, and they spend 24 hours a day in a pen like this. This gives the ewe a chance to really get to know the smell of her lamb. Now, sheep have the most amazing sense of smell. Far, far, far better than our sense of smell. They can smell things hundreds of yards away, hundreds of metres away, which we can't. So if you look how they use they're licking and sniffing their lambs. They're licking them and sniffing them, and also having some food because they're hungry. But they're just getting to know the exact smell of their own lambs. And they will only accept their own lambs. They will not accept another sheep's lambs to come and suckle them and look after them. We term this our mothering up group. Now, as lambs being born, they then spent a day, 24 hours in the pen, an individual pen, and then we bring them in here in a group, and they're just in here for a day, Again, it's just to get used to being in amongst the trees and just to get used to that being all together. They'll stay in here, say, for another day, and if everything's all right, there's no problem ones, then they'll all go out to grass and they should be fine. But if there's any problem, then we'll have to we'll just keep them back a bit longer.
We will follow these lambs as they grow over the summer. Stockbridge Technology Centre have now started this year's school visits. One of the things the schools planted on their first visit were potatoes. You could have a go at doing this in your school or at home. You can even do this in a pot if you don't have a garden. Farmers have also been busy planting potatoes. The soil is worked with tractors and cultivators to break down any large lumps. Then the soil is heaped into special rows or beds, ready for planting the potatoes in. These beds will be sieved by a machine called a de-stoner. The de-stoner separates all the stones and any large clods of soil. These are put between the rows away from where the potatoes will be planted. This allows the potatoes to grow and be harvested without these stones and clods damaging them as they grow. The potatoes are then planted into these prepared beds. The potatoes are tipped into the planter by a telescopic loader. As well as planting the potatoes, the farmer also puts fertiliser into the soil for the potatoes to use as they grow. The fertiliser is pumped into this front tank on the tractor before being applied to the soil as the potatoes are planted. The potatoes are dropped down these shoots into the soil before being covered over with soil. Can you see them dropping here? Job done, now just watch them grow.
Hello, my name is Luke Tilley and I'm an entomologist here at Stockbridge Technology Centre. Now, an entomologist is somebody who studies insects, and I particularly look at insects that live on the plants that we eat and that we have in our gardens. Today I'm going to talk to you about one of the projects that I work on at the moment, which is an exciting project called the Bee Larder. The idea of the Bee Larder is to provide flowers so that bees have something to eat all the way from spring, when they wake up after a long winter, to the end of their season around September and October. So all bees require sugars which come from nectar. Nectar is found in plants and flowers. Now, what I'm going to show you is a way to plant up some of these important flowers that provide bees with nectar, so that you can put them out in your own gardens and give something for the bees. So, what do we need to give these flowers to the bees? Well, we need some good soil or compost, a tray to plant the seeds in, and the seeds themselves. Now, here we have a mixture of seeds, all of them thought to provide nectar and pollen for the bees. Now, bees have different length and shape mouth parts, so it's important to give them more than one variety of flower so that they can all have something to eat and drink. So in these seeds we have borage, which is a common garden herb, cornflower, a pretty purple flower. We also have different species of clover, red clover and white clover. They're particularly good for bumblebees. And once we get those planted into a tray, it will only be a number of months until we get nice flowers to put out in the garden. So, first thing to do is to fill up your tray. There we go. Now this will give the new little seedlings enough nutrient so that they can grow and germinate and become nice flowers for the bees. So then we take our seeds, and all the seeds are different sizes, but we still just want one seed, whether it's large or small, in each one of our little compartments on the module tray. So if we make a little hole and just gently push the seed in, and then cover it over and tap it down. And the same again, this time with a different size seed, we just flick it. And you want to carry that on until you've got a full tray of seeds. And then, like all plants, what this needs is warmth, light and water, and you'll start to see the green growth coming soon.
It's like you're doing it.